Yes, Gaita, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Fine. Okay. Now, when you have, when we are doing the audit, what is the procedure of documentation? Is that what is the procedure of documentation? Is nothing but how we have to take into consideration, how we have to take up the notes, and how we have to work out the things. It is nothing but a simple understanding. Okay. What we have, it is nothing but a record of the what we have done, what are the procedures we have performed, what is the evidence we have gained, and what are the conclusions we have reached. Okay, there are 3 points. Is it? It is a record of the procedures performed. Is it? It is record of the procedures performed. It is what is the evidence we have been obtained, and what is the conclusions we have been reached. Audit documentation may also be referred it as working papers. Is that mostly we will cover this in the name of working papers. Okay, we have we have not covered work papers like that. Usually in all through the material study material, we use it as working papers. Fine. Now audit, what is the IAS 230? Okay, IAS 230 talks about the state that must be prepared. Okay, it must be prepared on a timely basis. This is very we have to remember this. Okay, we have to remember, means it has to be monthly, timely basis is nothing but whenever it is happening we have to do. We should not delay it, as and when it happens. Is it? As in, what is the purpose of, see, what, as simple as that, what is the purpose? We know everything, but we want to understand from the auditing perspective. It provides the evidence. What is the basis of conclusion? What we have done, on what are the evidences we have collected in terms of achievement of the overall objective. It is provide the evidence for the basis for conclusion. Is it right? It provides evidence that the audit has been planned and performed in accordance with the standards and any legal or regulatory requirements. First, it provides basis for the conclusion that we have achieved the overall objective. The second, it has been planned and performed as per the ISA, and legal and regulatory requirements means you can understand within the conceptual framework. Okay, I will use this word. Is it so? Once we are using this word, you can understand that we are talking in terms of IAS and IFRS. Okay, and in terms of local legislation. I will put the numbers as a 1 point number 2, 1 point number 1, point number 2. Definitely, when you are when you are taking the documentation aspects, it not only helps you, but it also helps the engagement team. Is it to perform? We have what is the, we are talking in terms of what is the timetable. Is it right? What is the time? What is that timeline? What you have to do? Who has to do? Is that who has to do? What effort? What is the risk? What is the performance materiality? Whatever we have covered in the previous cases, everything, whatever we have covered, is that whatever we have covered in the previous things, previous slides, we have to make sure that it has to be in writing. It also assists the team members. Okay, definitely there will be a more coordination, there will be a more understanding, there will be more communication. Very important, is that it will have more communication, as that who is responsible for supervision, who has to supervise, who has to review. Is that it means the responsibilities will be clearly assigned and defined. Okay, the responsibilities is clearly, it not only going to be assigned, but also it will define. Okay, who is going to do which one. It enables to once we are assigning the work, then those people are accountable. Means those people are going to have the response. They have to respond to the things which has been given. It allows a record. Is right? It is a record of matters of continuing significance. It is a record to be retained. Is that means when you are talking, there is a rule that for how many years we have to retain these working papers. Definitely, you are doing now. Is it right? You are doing now for a client. It will the next year. Is that next year? Anybody wants to review the previous working papers, they can review the working papers. It will give you as simple as that what we have studied, covered, discussed it. It gives you an idea about what happened done in terms of what? In terms of risk, okay? In terms of risk of the specific client. Now, the next one is it enables the conduct of a quality control reviews and inspections both internally and externally. It means in specific words it emphasizes on quality control. Definitely when you are having a documentation, it is the evidence, it is the evidence that gives you a continuous continuity with respect to quality, how best we have delivered, how best we have going to conduct the audit, or how best we have conducted the audit over a period of time. Is that these are the 7 basic objectives. Fine. How much needs to be done? Then you will ask me that how much you have to write. It is all flexibility. Is it that there is nothing like that we have to write each and everything. Everybody has their own way of understanding the things. Working papers need to be there. Again they say it should be sufficiently complete. Is it right? And details to be provided. Means it should not be like just you are giving a bullet points. Okay, it should not be just you are giving one word or one sentence where we are talking in terms of only the subheadings. No, it should be, if I am writing something, it should be understandable to you. That's very important. Is it right? It should be sufficiently complete and it should be complete, and see the wordings. Okay, see the wording. They are saying that it is sufficiently complete. Okay, one side they say that maybe sufficiently complete, we don't know the percentage, and it should also have some detail to provide an overall understanding. Means a basic thing is when you are providing a working papers documentation, it gives a understanding of the audit. As simple as that. Okay. Now, what is the IS 230 provides the general rule for the extent of working papers. What it says, what would be necessary to provide an experienced auditor with no previous connection with the audit. Assume you are working as an auditor and you will do the audit for a new client. Is that it's not a new, I will not say it's a new client. You have been assigned, okay, you have been assigned to do the audit for another client, okay, another client. This client is there with the audit firm, okay, but you are you are new, I can put like this, you can new, or you are an experienced auditor, first time you are doing, in this way you can put it like this, is it? First time you are doing an audit. Then what will happen? Definitely the moment you are planning the audit, what you will do, you will go through the working papers, what previous auditor has done, and what are the reviews, what is the risk factors, what are the internal controls, every other what will get, you will get a comprehensive, okay, you will get a comprehensive view of the previous audits, It gives you an understanding, is right? It gives you an understanding that this has been happened. You will become more active, more proactive, that yes, these are the areas I have to take into consideration. What would be necessary to provide experienced auditor with no previous connections with the audit with an understanding of work performed. Means it talks about the what would be necessary to provide an experienced auditor with no previous connection with the audit, with an understanding of the what is the work has been performed, the results of the procedures, evidence obtained, significant matters arising to the audit, and conclusions has been reached. Is it? Nothing but it is very much imperative, very much inclusive. I can say like that. That whenever you are going for an audit for a new client, you are going for the first time. The client has been there with you for a while with the audit firm. Now what you will do, the moment you go there, a simple reason, you will go through, you will revise the working papers, and it gives you a comprehensive view. What are the factors affecting the form and content? How much you have to give, is it? Size and complexity of the audit. If the audit is, if more complex is the audit procedures, definitely what will happen, you should have more documentation. Is it? More documentation. Now you can make it a point when we are doing the documentation should be in, I will put like this, a very complicated way, combination. Brief, it should be brief and it should be understandable. Is it right? It means you are preparing a report. It is right. You are preparing a report means it should communicate the message. I can put like this. It should communicate the message what we are doing. Is it factors affecting the firm? The thing is, what is the size of the firm, size of the audit? Is it right? Number of transactions, number of departments, so many things will come into consideration. And the complexity, how complex is the audit? Depending on that documentation will be there. The second one, what it says, nature of audit procedures to be performed. If you are performing more audit procedures, it should have more, for everything you should be in writing, okay? More documentation is required. More audit procedures, you should have documentation for every procedure. If the risk, identify risk of material misstatements. See the thing. Now you can have a view about this. If the material misstatements is on the higher side, definitely what we will do, we are going to increase the sample size. Is it right? The moment you are increasing the sample size, you have to give justification why it is happening. When you are giving justification, definitely it has to be documented. Is it right? Significance of audit evidence obtained. Is that how much we have obtained the audit, depending on if the material misstatement is on the higher side, definitely we are focusing on the audit evidence. Nature and extent of exceptions identified. Any idea about this? Any idea about exception, nature and extensions of?
No.
See, if you are excluding something, is it right? If you are excluding something, what will happen? See, we have taken it on the negative side, we will take it on the positive side also. If there are effective controls, is it right? If there are effective controls, and if there is material misstatement is less, is it right? If the material misstatement is on the lower side, okay, definitely what we will do, we will focus on other areas, okay, we will focus on other, we have the chance to focus on other areas. If material misstatements are on the higher side, I'm not saying that we are not going to focus on other areas. If material misstatements is on the higher side, what will happen? Definitely we will include more team members. Is it right? We are including more team members and we will be more specific on that. Is that more team members? We are not going to compromise on any audit procedures as such. But if they are effective control, definitely we have to see from the negative side and we have to see what is there on the positive side also. Yeah, we have to see on the both sides. If exceptions are there, definitely we will have the exposure to explore other areas for the audit and need to document a conclusion. Yeah, document the whatever conclusion we have, and most importantly, what it says, it is the audit methodology and tools. Audit methodology is nothing but what are the sampling techniques we have used. Is that sampling techniques used? Audit methodology is nothing but what are the documentation methods. Is it right? Documentation methods we have used. Is it? Audit methodology also include what are the analytical procedures we'll use. Is it right? What are the analytical procedures used? Okay. So what is the how we have conducted the audit? That's the methodology we have to work it out. What are the ways in terms of sampling techniques? You have to make it sure that we till now we have covered that we are doing sample, we are taking the external audit, we'll do the audit on a basis of sample. That is our understanding. Okay, that is what it has been given here. But if you go into detail, we have to know which sampling technique which have been used, what are the document methods we have done, what are the analytical procedures. We are not going to say that it is only a ratio analysis. Is that we are not talking about, we will see trend analysis, we will see what is the different analytical financial techniques which has been used. Those things we have to mention. Here, what we have to write here, we have to write here what is the audit methodology and tools has been used to perform the audit as such. Is it right? Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes,
Is it? See,
Yes.
is it okay? Again, just I will revise it. The purpose. What is the purpose of audit documentation? Whether it has been prepared on a time that the state that the documentation must be prepared on a timely basis. It talks about what are the objectives of the audit documentation and how much we have to document. It is a qualitative factor. Is that, and what are the factors and forms of content? What are the things that will be there in the audit documentation? Now, think and try as many different examples of audit papers as you can. Remember that working papers will include documents produced by the auditor. Is that working papers are what? Working papers that will include documents produced by the auditor, the first one, the client and the third parties, and they will include documents at the planning stage of the audit as well. See, whatever the documents produced by the auditor is part of working papers. Whatever the documents produced by the client is part of working papers, and whatever the documents produced by the third parties, confirmation letters, is that confirmation letters given by the third parties, they will include in the audit documentation, and they will also include the planning stage of audit. What we have done, how we have planned the audit, how we have planned the audit, is that how we have overseen the audit, and how we have concluded the audit. Is it that if you do take all three things into consideration, then it is going to be called as a working papers. Is right? Now, here are some examples. Okay, here are some examples you thought of. This is not the list of exhaustive thought. These are only examples. What is there in the working papers? You are talking about the strategy. You will talk about the plan, minutes of the board meetings. Is right? Minutes, any minutes of the board meetings, auditor has the right to ask as a evidence. Okay, non-current assets register. Okay, this is for you. This is the first time you are learning this. Okay, we are going to cover this when we are going to cover non-current assets. Okay, non-current assets, any purchase invoices, is it, supplier statements, customer balance, just now I told you, is that customer confirmations will be there, is that, including bank confirmation, is it right, including bank confirmation. What are the procedures we have been performed in terms of nature, in terms of what is the timing of the procedure, whether we have done in the interim audit, we have done in the final audit, and extent and results of the procedures undertaken. Evidence that work performed has been supervised and reviewed. These are the some of the things which is part of the audit procedures. Again, I am saying this, in the question they will ask which two of the following. Is that which two of the following are the audit procedures to be performed? In that way, which of two of the following are the examples for working, the documents to be included in the working papers? What are the things when we have said it is the confirmations? Is that the working papers also include the written representations from the management, the bank letter, is it the bank letter stating the balances or stating what are the, how much is the loan, if the details from the bank, is it right? Any internal audit reports, anything which you have done with respect to report to the management, report to what we have communicated from our side, from the auditor side to the client, any third party valuations of inventory by experts, is it, survey reports of value on the property, is it, whenever there is a revaluation, is it, whenever there is a revaluation, definitely what will happen, a surveyor come and technical valuation he will do. Those things we have to include in the working papers. Financial statements with respect to the income statement, balance sheet and profit and loss account. Any budgets are there, any cash flow budgets are there, okay? Any estimates we have made, client has made, it has to be included, that auditor report as well as the director's report. In totality, the complete, if you put the things into consideration, the complete evidence, is it, the complete evidence which we are doing during the audit, is it, during the audit, is it, during the audit is going to be in a one packaged form, okay, in a one package form. We are not leaving any stone unturned. We are not leaving any space as such. We are not leaving any space. Means if we are having the working papers, definitely we will get a complete overview about the audit that has been happened over a period of time. See the things. When you are doing the things, what is there? They have given a sample of this, is it? They have given a sample. In the questions, we will cover this. Is right? In the questions, they will say that which of the following is not included. Is that which of the following is not included? Or they say that which of the following is included. I will just increase the size. Okay. What we are doing here, they are talking about the client. They are talking about the year-end date. They are talking about what is the year-end inventory count. Specific procedure what we are doing, okay, year-end inventory count. They give the reference, they give who is prepared, they give the date when has been prepared. About then, what is the objective of the work, what is the work to be done, sample selection, work done, source of information, key to any audit risk, and appropriate cross-referencing. Is that what, this is a sample that what they are mentioning, is it right? Results, whatever we have arrived at the during the conduct of procedures, and in the end you will have the conclusions and prepared by and reviewed by and date. Is that in the initially it will be done by the who has been prepared. It is that usually it will be we take it as an example. Usually it will be done by the audit junior, and here it will be done by the audit senior. Fine. This is the way the document means if you have been assigned a specific task, for that specific task you have to prepare it in a report format. In the examination, the questions are there. I am repeating that. In the questions, they will ask which two of the following is not included. Which two of the followings are included? Is that they make specifically on that aspect. Now, there are two things are there. Is it right? There are two things are there. For recurring audits, working papers may be, for recurring audits, for the continuous audit, is it right? Working papers may be split into two places. One is your permanent audit files, one is your current audit files. Is it permanent audit? Permanent audit, what is the difference between permanent audit and permanent audit file contains interest of continuous importance to the audit. Is it continuous importance? What we have done one time under first time we have engagement letters. See, if you are if you are renewing the audit at the end of every year, you are renewing the contract. That contract will be renewed not on all aspects. The first contract will have details. The subsequent contracts will have only the date will be changed. Okay, subsequent contracts only that day, but with reference to the first contract. Getting my point? When you are going to have a renewal, is that they will say that if reference to the first contract. Any clauses, is that any clauses we are going to add, that clauses will be mentioned in the renewal. Okay, in the renewal contract, those clauses will be mentioned, but the basis will be the first contract. They are permanent audit files, which is of continuous importance for the audit, and the current audit files is nothing but it relates to the current year's audit only. It relates to the current year audit only. Now, what are the contents of the permanent files, and what are the contents of the current audit working papers? Okay, what are the contents of the permanent audit files relating to working papers, and what are the contents of current working? Permanent audit files consist. See the thing. The first time we have a engagement letter. Is it the first time which you are going to have the engagement letter? Is it new client questionnaire? If it is a new client questionnaire, we will ask. Okay, if you are having first time you are having, you are going to first year. Is it right? You are doing an audit. You will ask so many. You want to know the entity. Is it right? You will say know the entity. Know the environment. Is it right? Whatever the information we have gathered first time, is that will be part of the permanent audit file. Now, you will have a memorandum of association, and you have the articles of association. Any idea about these two things? What is the memorandum and what is the article?
it presents the rules and like laws followed in the company as per the corporate governance of the company.
About the
Laws and rules followed in the company. I mean, article of association.
articles, what articles will present?
Articles of laws and rules followed in the company.
And memorandum?
I have no idea.
Laila and Gaita, what do you mean by articles, or what is the memorandum? Any idea? Yes or no? Tell me very, don't waste time. Memorandum of association?
I don't know, sir.
Gaita?
I don't know, sir.
See, memorandum is association is nothing but the first time you will get registered. Okay, you will get registered. Yes, Mugi, tell me. Mugi,
Mm.
what?
So it's like a registration purpose or something.
You have
Yes,
CR.
sir.
Is it right? Company registration.
CR.
Is that company registration? Company registration, the first time you get registered with the, if you take here our case, our country only, the first time you get registered, you have to give the company registration. What will happen? You will have the name, you have the activities, you have date of incorporation. Is it date of incorporation? Is it date of incorporation? You will have the how much is the authorized capital is there, how much is that, how much is the capital, when it has been, who are the partners, is that, who are the partners, what are the activities, is that, what are the activities we have to taken, where is the location, is that, it comes in simple way. Memorandum is nothing but a company registration. It talks about the complete details about the companies. It is like a birth certificate. Understand my point? It is like a birth certificate. Birth certificate gives you complete details. The company is born, the company is registered, the company details will be there in memorandum of association. Articles association says that what are the laws, rules the company will follow. Is that very important? Once class is over, just go through the Google. I will say this: go through the Google and cover this. Any doubt is there? First refer the book. First refer the discussion. If still it is not there, just refer. Is that? I'm not saying that Google is the end place for everything. No, Google provides all the information, but we have to take the selective information. We have to be very selective when you are using the Google search. It provides general information. If even it is not there, then you ask me. I know where the words are new, where the topics are new, where you are not asking me the questions. You should immediately stop. What is memorandum? Nothing will happen. We are not going to shy that if I am asking some question, no. You ask the questions as much as possible. You question me. That is what I expect from you. Is that you will have, see, you should have permanent. This is the permanent memorandum of association. Company registration is the permanent. Articles, laws and regulations of the company to follow. Every company comes under different category. telecommunication and under different law and regulation, aviation different law and regulation, banking different law and regulations. Is it right? Hotel industry, hospitality different law and regulation. Hospitals comes in that is there. When we are running the business, we should know what is the memorandum and what is the articles. As an auditor, it is very much compulsory for you to understand the memorandum and articles of association. We are going for an audit means we are going to have a comprehensive view of the client. Other documents such as prospectus, leases, sales agreements. That what prospectus is happens whenever you are issuing the issue of share capital. Leases, usually whenever you are taking the lease, the maximum lease period is 99 years. It is permanent. It is not related to 1 year as such. We should understand the reason. We should understand why it is included in the permanent audit files. We are talking about any sales agreements. See, if you take the aircraft, okay, if you take the aircraft, is that you are ordering aircraft. It will not take 1 year, 2 years. It will take minimum, if you are ordering now, they will deliver after 5 years. We are not ordering for 1 or 2 aircraft. We are ordering for 15 aircrafts. When you are ordering for 15 aircraft, they will deliver. Like that, any sales agreements, is it that you will have a long-term sales agreement, memorandum of understanding with other clients that for the next 10 years we are going to sell gas, sale of oil and gas. We are going to import. Is that we are going to import. If you take the automobiles, Toyota, what they say, it's not a small 1 year agreement. It's a long-term agreement. You are taking the dealership. When you are taking the dealership, it is for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Those things which are going to be beyond 1 year, that will be part of permanent audit file. Details of history of client business. What we have done, is it that over a period of time, what happens if you are in 2023, we will see what is there since inception, since they have started, what are the activities they have done. Maybe they have diversified. Is that they have diversified the business, they have expanded the business. Maybe they have discontinued some operations. Is it they have discontinued some operations, they have explored other areas. Is that they have explored other countries, other regions. It will give you a details of the client business. You will have board meetings of continuing relevance. Board minutes are very, very specific. Because as an auditor, you are involved directly. You are involved directly with the board minutes. You should review what decisions they have taken. Whenever you are talking in terms of board minutes, this is never be a short term. Always board minutes talks about the strategy. Board minutes talks about the long term. Board minutes talks about something which, if it is in the value, they will discuss a very, very high value items. That is the reason we have to take into account the board meeting. Previous year signed accounts, analytical review and reports to management. How many times we are covering this point? Every other chapter we are talking in terms of previous year signed accounts. It gives you an overall understanding about what we are doing, what we are not doing. Accounting system notes. In our regular curriculum, everybody what we do is we are very much focused on calculations. Is it right? We are very much focused on calculation. But that is not the case. We hardly cover. There is one notes to the accounts. Okay, notes to the accounts. Notes to the accounts will be there after financial statements. Is that your income statement, statement of financial position and cash flow statement. After cash flow statement, you will have notes to the account. It is a brief, very brief summary. Is it a very brief summary? It can be, see, it can be understood by the person who has a complete knowledge. It talks a briefly, it talks about the methods, okay? It talks about the IAS and IFRS, and it talks about, most importantly, it talks about the which method we have followed. Which method we have followed, inventory, property, plant and equipment, which method we have, how we have done with this. Every other standard will be covered. Every other standard. It starts from IAS 1 and it ends with IAS, if I am right, 41, agriculture property. Is that it talks IAS 41. Is that it covers all whichever the standards we have used, whichever reporting standards it covers each and everything. That is the reason people are very clear. See, you will do as an auditor, you will focus on notes to the accounts. Calculations are subsidiary. Calculations, we are not going to do any calculation. Automatically it will be generated. The moment it is only the back end and the front end. Front end, you have all the reports will be generated on a click of your button. Back end, how you are preparing what are the rules and regulations, the conditions you have been working on that. Is that it talks about the accounting system notes, previous year control questionnaires. We have covered this now. Control question, we have covered this, yes or no?
No.
No. Is that internal evaluation control questionnaires? No. Evaluation, internal evaluation, no, we have not covered. Okay, we'll cover this. Okay, we have not covered this. Subsequently, we will cover. Okay, these are the things which permanent audit file. What are the current audit files? We are talking about the current year financial statements. Any checklist we have prepared for the current year. Anything related to management account details. Is it management account details in terms of what? In terms of any internal documents, internal reports, internal documents, or you can put it as a internal reports. Any reconciliation. The reconciliation is part of every activity. Keep it in mind. Whenever we are talking, I am telling you in advance, whenever we do substantive procedures, whenever we are doing substantive procedures, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, what we will do? We will do reconciliation. A simple example of reconciliation, which you know very well, is the bank reconciliation. What we will do in bank reconciliation? We will take the opening balance, we will take the closing balance, and we will see what are the things that has been pending. Which, if it is cleared, fine. If it is not cleared, we will highlight. These are the things which checks has been received but not deposited. Checks has been paid but not in cash. Whatever we use the word lodgings. Okay, we use the word anything which has been not cleared, we will work out on those areas. While doing reconciliation, the purpose of doing reconciliation, anyway, you do reconciliation on cash and bank, you do reconciliation on non-current assets, inventory, receivables, payables, everywhere. At the end of the last one is, one of the last point of substantive procedures will be reconciliations. Okay, reconciliation means you have to reconcile with the opening balance and the closing balance, so that
So here we will consider the closing.
Pardon?
Here we will consider the closing balance of the bank statement, right, and opening balance as per the financial records of the company.
Opening balance of the cash book, closing balance of the bank book. Okay, what we said is right. Okay, what you said is right. Is that we will see. Not. This is with respect to bank. Okay, this is with respect to bank. Now, with respect to, take an example with respect to non-current assets, okay, with respect to non-current assets. See what happens every day, what happens, they will give you 2022 and 2023, okay. When you are talking about 2022, this is going to be the closing balance, okay, closing balance of 20. The whatever the closing balance of 2022 will be the opening balance of 2023. Okay. Now if you take non-current assets registers, they will be opening balance. There will be some additions will be there. Is it? There will be some additions will be there. There will be some disposals will be there. Is it? There will be some disposals will be there. Is it? You will have some additions will be there. You will have some disposals will be there. Is that you will have some disposals will be there. You will have something which has been written off will be there. Is that you will have something which has been written off. You will have a complete understanding. You will have a complete overview about what happens from the opening till the closing, only for current 12 months. Reconciliation will be done only to make sure that the activity that has been taken place during the year. Is it right? The activity that has been taken place during the year of any element of financial statements. Is it right? Next, are you clear about this?
Yes.
Fine. A summary of, if you are having any unadjusted, is it right? A summary of unadjusted errors. I will make it a point where I don't know whether you have done this or not. Sometimes very exceptional cases, there will be some suspense accounts are there. There will be some suspense accounts are there. See, now, why we are preparing trial balance? That the purpose of preparing trial balance is known as, is for what? It is known to be have a mathematical accuracy. Is it? It is for only mathematical accuracy. Whether we are debits or matching with credits or not. If there is any errors are there, we can detect at the time of trial. Trial balance will not be tallied. If trial balance is not tallied, it means there are some errors. There may be. What are the different types of errors? What are types of errors in accounting? Types of errors in financial, while preparing financial statements? You have error of principle. Is it? You have error of principle. You have error of omission. Is it right? You have error of commission. These are the three types of errors. Okay, three types of error. If you find any errors, is it right? Any errors, definitely it will arise from this. Error of principle, debits and credits. Error of omission, we are not going to consider that at all. We have not entered that transaction in the books. Okay, we are not entered the transactions in the books. Error of commission is nothing but instead of writing 100, we have written 10 or we have written 1000. Is that this is error of commission. Error of omission. Now, from an audit point of view, I am telling you this. From the audit point of view, what are the controls we have in terms of error of omission? Error of omission, to have a control, we will put a sequence number. Is a sequence number automatically generated by the system. Okay, sequence number generated by the system. If it is going to be generated by the system, definitely the error of omission risk can be reduced. The error of omission risk can be reduced. There will be a summary of unadjusted errors. If there are errors which has been not reconciled, definitely you have to create. For that is what the normal procedure will happen. Is it right? The moment you go for an audit, you will write down all the things which has been doubtful, and slowly and steadily you will discuss each and every item with your management, with the management. Is it? Some are going to be clarified, some are not going to be clarified. Which are not going to be clarified, we will chart down on the separate list as a summary of unadjusted errors. Later, at a later stage, we will discuss this with the management and we will get clarification. If we are not giving, we are getting the clarification which has been accepted or which has been not accepted, then we will ask for a return representation from the management. Fine. That is the summary of unadjusted. Report to partner including details of significant events and errors. This is when you are saying it's a partner, it is the audit partner. It is not anything else. It is an audit partner. See the thing. The moment you will get ACCA qualified, they will call you as an audit partner. Only the qualified people, and we are working in an audit firm, then they will call it as an audit partner. Means anything, report to the partner, any significant events or errors. Don't think that partner is the business partner. Okay, you have a review notes for the current year audit, a audit planning memorandum. How you have done your audit planning. You will take into consideration the time factors, budgets and summaries. Any representation letter from the management. You have to report to them what is the report you have given to the management. Notes of the board meeting during the current year. And most importantly, any communication with the third party, such as experts, or if you have taken any independent review. Okay, if you have conducted any independent review from the other auditors, then we have to include those communications. Okay, these are the once we have done this, go through this. What are the contents of the permanent audit file and what are the contents of the temporary current audit file. Current audit file is otherwise called as a temporary audit file also. Is it okay with you? Is it clear? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can understand. Now you have a you have a basic understanding. It must also contain any working papers with respect to inventory, whatever we have done individually. Is it at inventory, cash, revenue, payables, which has been included, which has been not included, they have put etc. Okay. A lead schedule including details of the figures to be. Lead means the summary. Okay. What we are doing, this is given in the notes to the accounts. Is it? This is going to give in the notes to the accounts. If you are working, okay, your own company, I am not talking about any other thing, your own, where you are working, take the last year annual report. Okay, take the last year annual report. Go through the annual report. Go through the tomorrow. You can see it on the web. Okay, you can see on the web. If you go to the exchange or security exchange website, you will see. You can select. You can download. You just read that. If you read your annual report, getting my point? If you read your annual report, automatically you will get almost 20% understanding of the subject. 20% understanding of the subject. You will come across what are the structure of the audit report, what is the structure of the management summary, how the financial statements will be there, notes to the accounts. In some cases, they will give you a corporate governance report. In some cases, they will give you the annexures will be given. Is that? It's not. I'm not asking about anything else. The firm in which you are working, the firm's last annual report, take it, review it. Just read like a newspaper. I'm not saying that you just turn the pages. Turn the pages. You will have a complete understanding. Then you will understand the subject, what we are talking about. Is right? A lead schedule including the details to be included in the financial statements. See, what happens in the financial statement, I will tell you. In the financial statement, they will give you sales. That's all. They say that sales is going to be 10, 250, 300 million. Is that the 10 million, 250, 300. They will give you this sales. Is that? Here what they will do, they will give the note. Is that? They'll say that note number is 3. Then they will say it is a cost of sales. They say the cost of sales is 560. I'm just 560, 5720. They will say that cost of sales is note number 6. It will be there in the sequence order, but in the profit and loss account or in the income statement or balance sheet, it will not be in sequence. Is it? In the notes to the accounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be there. But they will mention, yes, in the note it is note number 3. That note now, if you are referring note number 3 with respect to sales, they will mention a brief details about what accounting the sales, how sales has been accounted, which standard we have used, how it has been calculated. A brief one, opening, closing, any adjustments, anything. A bullet, I can say a very, very concise, precise details will be given about the sales, about the cost of sales. Every other item, we are talking in terms of administration expenses, they will say what is the note number 1. Note. Is it right? They are talking about in terms of selling and distribution expenses, they say it is note. We are talking in terms of the assets, they will say note. Everywhere there is a note. That is very important. That's what we have to understand. Next, what we are going to, current audit files must also have what are the problems you have been encountered and what are the conclusions we have drawn. What are the issues we have encountered? Is that we are talking in terms of audit program, both in terms of interim audit and final audit. We are talking about the risk assessment in terms of what? In terms of internal controls. Is that internal controls? We will assess the risk in terms of, we are saying in terms of sampling plans. Okay, we are talking in terms of sampling, what are the sampling techniques and on what basis, if you are increasing the sample size, is it? If you are increasing the sample size, what are the reasons, what are the justifications we are giving? We will also take into consideration analytical view. Always keep it in mind. We are going to compare current year, is that? I am not using the previous year. They use the prior year. Very important. Sales, we'll see what is the sales of current year with the prior year. We are talking about the cost of goods sold, cost of sales current year. We always compare. That is the reason. The one of the conceptual framework, what we are doing, we are using the word there will be a comparison. Comparison, consistency. Always we have to make a comparison. That is the reason they will give financial statements for the current year as well as for the previous year. Details about the substantive test and test of controls. What are the substantive tests we have conducted and what are the test of controls we have done. Fine. This is the basic inputs about the working papers. Fine. Now, This is the question, is that? This is the question. You are the audit senior. Now, whatever we have covered in theoretical aspects, we will make application here. First and foremost, any question, they will mention what is your role. What is your role? They will mention. You are an audit senior responsible for audit work on inventory in the which shoes company. A shoe retailer. This is in the examination also. This is very important. This talks about know the entity. The final audit is almost over and you must submit your working papers for review by your manager. What sort of audit working papers might your file will contain? Is that what sort of audit papers? Is it next? When we are talking about the audit papers, is that yes? We are doing a current year audit. Okay, we are doing the current. They are saying that they are mentioned very clearly that you have the audit is almost over and you must submit your audit working paper. If you are doing this, what are the contents? What is the current audit files? Is that you will take into consideration the various current audit files that has been submitted, okay, that has been mentioned here. Okay, all the current audit files. Here they have mentioned the things. Is that current audit files? What they are reflecting? They are talking in terms of They say that. What they have mentioned, see the thing. You are a audit senior responsible for the audit work of what? Audit work of inventory. Yeah, audit work of inventory. When we are working on the audit work of inventory, what we are doing very focusedly, we are making what is the audit program for inventory. What is the performance materiality? It's not like it's only for inventory we are doing the audit. They have been asked only for the inventory and we are responsible for the inventory. If we are doing individually, any individual item, then it will be a performance materiality. If you are doing for the complete financial statement, it is overall materiality. This is the difference between performance materiality and overall materiality. The first one is audit program. The second one is sequence is little bit more important. Okay. Now first you have to see what is the audit program you have drafted. Second, you should know what is the performance materiality. Later on, I will say this. Later on, it will be changed if required. Is it right? Later on, it will be changed if required, depending on the risk assessment. Is it depending on the risk assessment? If the risk assessment is on the higher side, definitely the performance materiality will also change. But initially, what we have arrived at, okay, initially, draft financial, we are only talking about the extract. Is that when you are doing your any SESB or something, they will not ask you to do everything, is right? They will only ask you to prepare an extract. Extract is specifically the schedule or workings of inventory. We have to show only inventory. We are not concerned about any other thing. What are the instructions which has been given? See, inventory instruction, whenever we are going for an inventory audit, you should have how we are going to count inventory. How we are going to count inventory. Inventory instructions are there. One person will be from the audit side, one person will be from the client side. If it is a continuous inventory or it is a period, it is a perpetual inventory or a continuous perpetual it is a sorry, if it is a continuous inventory, the production is happening 24 hours, is that how we have to count the inventory? How we have to count the inventory? I am giving you some few examples on that. Is it right? Now, once the inventory has been done, who is going to prepare and who has prepared it and who has reviewed it? Before inventory, there are instructions with respect to, see the thing, the instructions will be given before inventory count, during the inventory count and after the inventory count. We will cover in detail this. We are covering at an appropriate stage. Just for your knowledge, just for your information, I am giving you this. Before inventory, what are inventory count, what are the instructions, during the inventory count and after the inventory count. Those instructions we should have a complete understanding. Results of year-end inventory count. This usually happens during the final audit. The results of the results is nothing but what is the inventory. You will have inventory in one location, you will have inventory in multiple locations. Is that you will have inventory in one location, you will have inventory in multiple locations. Okay, you have to give the complete details about the what are the summary of the inventory. Detailed inventory listings for each shop. This is the shop where you are talking in terms of this is the shops which is going to be, which they are doing the business with respect to selling of shoes. Is it? This is the shop they are doing business with respect to selling of shoes. If they have different outlets, is it? If they have multiple outlets, is it? If they have multiple outlets, then you have to give the detailed inventory of each and every shop. Okay, classification, detailed inventory. I am not talking detailed inventory in terms of the price, the prices, in terms of the classification, in terms of categorization. Is that a complete schedule has to be there? Is that now why we are saying it's a complete schedule? We are not talking about the overall financial statement. We are making it very clearly that we are specifically focusing on what? We are specifically focusing on the inventory. The complete details of the inventory has to be enclosed, has to be submitted. Purchase invoices to confirm the cost value. Is that if they are purchasing from others, then you should know a sample. I can put it like that. You can have a complete list, plus you should have a complete list of the purchase invoice. Why we are taking purchase invoices? In purchase invoices, you will have they will be particulars, they will be unit value. Is it that they will be unit value, they will be a total cost. Immediately, the moment you say purchase value, you should know what are the things you will have in your purchases. You will have minimum, you will have sales, serial number, purchases, unit price and cost. You will have who is the client. Okay. Now, if you say unit value multiplied by number of units, is it unit value? You will have number of units purchased. Is it number of units purchased? You will get the total cost. Why we are taking this? Very simple. Why we are taking this? We are taking this because we are talking in terms of inventory. Is that if it is sales, if it is related to sales, we will take sales invoices. But it is related to inventory. Inventory is purchased, and we should know what is the cost value, because cost value will be matched with the sale value. Whether we have correctly fixed the sales prices or not. That is the reason. Is that we will take into consideration to confirm only to confirm the cost value. Notes of the meet, any discussions we have done. any discussions we have done, any information we have with the relevant staff or related staff, that has to be included in the documents. Are you clear about this? Means again I am saying is that what are the if it is for the shoes in business, what we have to submit at the as a part of your audit working papers. Now I will tell you where there is a difficulty. Okay, where there is a difficulty. We have to, this is the rule you have to follow from the beginning till the end. Slowly and steadily by practice we will become perfect. Okay. First, audit program will be there. Second, performance materiality will be there. Third, draft financial statements will be there. Okay. Fourth, you will have instructions will be there. Next, after that, results will come. You will have once you have the results, you will submit supporting documents, detailed inventory listing. This is the supporting documents, is that this is the supporting document. Detailed inventory, purchase invoices, and notes to the accounts. Fine. This will be separate, and this. People, what they will do, you should not change the sequence. You should not write draft financial statements first, then you should not write audit program next. Not only in this question, anywhere. The moment you change the order, the things will go upside down. Is that? I'm cautiously I'm telling you, this is the precautions we have to take. The moment you are changing the order, what will happen? Definitely, we will not do inventory count instructions unless we have a program. Okay? In the program, they will mention everything in detail. Then, stage by stage. Is it? Now you have that advantage. What the advantage? Previously it is not there, now it is there. Now it is a computer-based examination. The moment you are typing it, okay, you are typing it, you will type it. In the examination it happens. I am telling you this. In the examination you will type in, as you are getting the things in your mind, you will type it. But once it has been done, just review it. If you find anything in up and down, you cut and paste, put it in a sequence order. Is that put it in a sequence order? It happens. I am not saying that we are going to be perfect. In examination, we will write first inventory count instructions, then we will say it is draft financial statement, then we will write performance material. We will write like this. Is it right? But the moment we have that flexibility, we have that advantage. The moment you are going through it, if the moment we say that yes, the sequence is not in correct order, we can put it in a correct sequence. This is the standing instructions from my side. This is the standing instruction not only for this chapter, for the entire course. Is it? No. What we are doing, we'll complete this and we'll stop, okay? Standardized audit work. Many audit firms use standardized working papers. So people will use checklists, people will use specimen letters. Standardized checklist will say that these are the things have been opened. The more what they will say, yes, this is the checklist will be there. Okay, assume these are the checklists. You will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the checklist for the inventory. You will say yes, audit program is there, check it, ticket. Performance materiality is a ticket, like that. Okay. Now you will have what are the standardized working, what is the advantage? It definitely increase efficiency. We will have very structured format. But what is the disadvantages? It is a very mechanical approach. We cannot add our own ideas. Okay, we cannot add our own thing. Whatever is there, we have to fix to that format. Audit judgment will be compromised. There is no flexibility. Is it right? Flexibility will be very, very less. Okay. will be very less. We have to show, we have as normal application form, okay, pre-printed application form. We don't have flexibility. Whatever the information they are asking, we have to give that information. This is going to be a standardized audit working papers, okay. What are the most firms now use automated working papers packages. You have audit softwares, okay. Nowadays every other firm will have their own audit softwares, in most of their cases customized softwares, is it? When you have your own automated working papers package, the risk of errors is reduced. You know what is requirement of your firm, and you know what you have to doing. You will take into consideration the requirements of the client also. If it is a big client which we are working, they will make some modification. The working papers will be neater and easier to review. This is general understanding. We are going to save time, is it? We are going to save time, including summarizing any information. Standardized formats do not be carried out to audit location. We can have a soft copy. Audit working papers can be translated for review easily. Standardized forms, okay? Standardized forms. We have we will not have any no, it's not a complex activity, okay. Now this is with respect to document. What is the automated working paper packages? Next one, to what extent we have to retain the working papers, okay. For how many years? Audit working papers belongs to the audit firm. Very, very important. Not the client. This is the property assets of the auditors. But how long they should say? They say that it has to be covered for minimum 7 years. They are recommending. Is that recommending? When you are recommending, again, ethical concept, code of ethics, is it right? Code of ethics. In one of the code of ethics, we should have the principle, we should keep confidentiality. How many, what are the code of ethics? What are 5 ethics? Tell me very fast. What are code of ethics? 5 AC say 5 code of ethics.
Integrity,
Tell me fast. One. Okay, start.
Professional competence,
Yes.
professional behavior,
confidentiality,
Next.
integrity,
professional behavior,
I am writing in sequence. Understand my point? Listen that I am writing in sequence. Which will come first, which will come second. Okay? Which will come first, which will come second. Because of that, you will have more understanding. Okay? I'm not breaking the sequence. Next where I will ask something, I will ask about threats. What are the threats? Gaita and Laila. What are the 5 threats? Very important. It almost constitutes 3 to 5 marks. Take my word. It almost constitutes you are having 3 to 5 marks in your hands. What are the threats? Yes, Mariam.
self-interest,
Good.
self-review, advocacy, intimidation, familiarity.
self-interest, self-review,
self-review,
advocacy, intimidation,
intimidation,
and
familiarity,
familiarity.
familiarity.
Take this one. I am telling you, after examination, you will tell to me. Whenever I am asking you what are the things, you should don't keep things till the end. Don't keep things. It's all in our hands. How we are preparing. We have enough time. The moment you keep things at the end, it will be most difficult part. Okay. Audit or documentation is most likely to be tested as a knowledge based question in examination. They are mentioning very clearly. Although audit is not big part of F8 syllabus, it is relatively a straightforward and presents you with a few easy marks. There could be difference between, they mention very clearly. Even 1 mark is important. Understand point? Even 1 mark is important. We cannot take that into consideration. Fine? Can I stop here?
Yeah.